right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Player B podcast. My name is Marcus Mercer, as always, joined by Rob Levins. Rob, how we doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing all right. We have another special guest with us tonight. We have a reoccurring guest. We have Hung Chow.
Reoccurring guest, absolutely.
That's
short
right.
list.
Short list. We have Hung Chow joining us, the GM of Virtues Golf Club here in Ohio. So, Hung, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, thanks for having me back again. I absolutely enjoyed our last time together.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we got a couple things we'll get into with you here. But as always, the running joke is we always talk about the weather, and we talked about the weather a little bit before we hit record here, and how this winter has been pretty mild, and I'm sure you have a few guys that are chomping at the bit to take advantage of some of these warmer days here in December and January.
I know. Yeah. Tell me about it. I got guys coming up. My phone is getting blasted in the pro shop, but back in November, end of November, we decided to close the golf shop, the clubhouse for a couple of weeks, so we can actually do a little quick renovation around the clubhouse, updating a little bit, paint a few things.
Yeah, the clubhouse. You got to take care of the clubhouse. You got to keep the customers happy.
But we got to do this.
Yeah.
So
keep putting it off. So.
Right.
So have you been completely closed? Are you still letting guys get out there and play a little bit, even though you're working on things inside, or are you completely shut down?
No, I just completely shut down, and so that way I can divert all the personnel to do all the renovation stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing everywhere right now. It's we don't have that many staff with us anymore, and so it's just one of those. Hopefully by next spring everything gets a little better, so I get everybody back.
Yeah. No kidding. It's it's kind of that weird time where you lose some of your seasonal staff, and the weather gets warm, and people want to get out and play, and who knows? So it's crazy, but that's one of the reasons we reached out to have you back on is you've been posting some videos and some updates and things like that on what's going on over there at the clubhouse. So maybe talk us through what's going on. It looks like you were putting down some painter's tape and all kinds of stuff. So
I did. So basically, we closed the clubhouse for a couple of weeks because our restaurant ceiling needs a little help. It's been 20 years, and 20 years we never paid that much attention to it. So we're fixing it up. So the bench is clean, sprucing it up with a fresh coat of paint. And since we're painting the ceiling, we'll paint my splatter everywhere, anywhere. So we just paint the whole thing.
Right.
And this painting projects keep getting bigger and bigger. So we got a banquet space, first floor painted, and then probably throughout this entire spring, we'll tackle the entire 6,000 square feet of the clubhouse. I'm sorry, not six. It's the clubhouse 6,000 just banquet space. It's 60,000 square foot. That's the clubhouse. So it will be done in sections. I'm not saying that, but on the whole F&B side of it should be done. By the time everybody comes back to see us this spring, the entire F&B side, restaurant banquet side, everything will be done. So
that little paint goes a long way,
Yeah, 60,000 square feet.
That's quite the undertaking. And again, when we talked last time, it's kind of one of those deals where you're the GM, but you're doing a little bit of everything, and people might be surprised to hear that you're out there laying painter's tape and painting
you're
the
up on the ladder,
rolling,
cutting in, doing the fun stuff.
Well, unfortunately, for us in the golf business, especially this time of year, I don't have my staff anymore. It's just me and Justin on the golf side, and we gotta do it all.
There you go.
It's part of the business, so good, and that's good and bad about it. But
other duties as assigned. It's probably one of those deals, just like any DIY project at home. You're like, well, I was going to paint this room, but I might as well paint this one too. And
while I'm at it,
while I'm at it, might as well get this done. So that's cool to hear. You know, obviously everybody's looking forward to golf season, but now it's like get back out there in the spring and kind of have a refreshed look and all that good stuff. So that's exciting to hear. So cool.
Yeah.
But we talked a lot about some of the ideas you had for the course and things like that. So we talked about changes inside. Anything, any plans for outside this year? Any tweaks or changes you're looking at for the course or outside operations or anything like that?
For the course, me and actually there's two. I told you we're doing the bunker renovation. We'll try to do 3 to 5 bunkers every winter. So this year we're doing the bunker behind on hole number 9. So we redug that, so that way that sand will be a little bit fluffier. So when you have the the water in the back, if you're in that bunker, the water is beyond the green. Hopefully, with fluffy sand, will make that a little less intimidating.
You don't drop kick it in the. Nice, I appreciate that. Not saying I've ever done that, but I'm just saying it's nice to have fluffy sand in there.
I'll go ahead and say it. I have done that.
I'm just hoping that makes a few people a little happier. And then hole number 12 on the par 3, the front right bunkers are 2 of them. So we're connecting both of them. So that's going to be one big bunker now.
Oh, and okay.
When you look on T-box, it looks different now. That bunker looks deep and mean now. I mean, and before it's 2 like medium-sized bunker. Now it's connected into one big bunker. So from T-box, that actually capture your attention a little bit more. I mean, golfer's attention a little bit more than what you used to. So I think though people will probably have more fun with that, because that actually will make that green, especially when you put it on the back wrapping placement there now, you'll make that flag looks even further out by itself now. So I think that's a fun change. And then depends on the materials that we got left. We might tackle the little pop bunker right next to hole 14, or that little pop bunker behind the hole 16. Just depends on how much, because these 2 bunkers, it's actually 2 pretty good sized bunkers. So we'll probably end up using all the liners we brought in. So we might end up using 3 bunkers this year. Nice. But I think give us another 3 years or so, all our greenside bunker will be done just by us doing this. So
very cool.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. So I can't wait to go and I already look at 12. 12 looks good. You guys will look at
that. I can't wait to come see it. That's for sure. So and 9, I got to tell you, I've been in that bunker many times, and it is not a fun shot, because you're looking down, behind you coming back the other way, and you just see nothing but water on the other side, and it's.
I'm pretty sure I've putted out of that bunker before. I'm almost certain that I've.
It might be a little hard to putt out of that bunker now, because we dug it probably another 6 inch deeper now.
Okay. Yeah.
And
that
might be a little harder now.
Yeah. Really have to weigh out the options of that, see if it's a smart move.
Nice.
I think that's gonna be a good change, because you got nice little fluffy sand underneath there. So if you play your typical splash shot, that should take care of that.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Out on the golf course, do you have anything in the clubhouse that you're excited about? I know just being on that side of the desk, this is the time of the year that you put your orders in for 2022 from a merchandise standpoint. Is there anything coming in to the pro shop this year that's maybe new, or you're just kind of excited about either a new new product or a new vendor that you guys are going to carry, or is it just kind of the same stuff, just new designs of what you had in the past?
There's one brand I'm bringing next year. It's actually I never heard much about it, but somebody he showed up one of his shirts. I look at it, I think, well, I probably want to go Swanee. I don't know if
Okay.
you can see that.
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't think I have. No.
No, but I might have to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's say there we go.
they have a shirt that design is called the Legend, and
Okay.
basically I don't know how they're getting away with it, but they are. But it's basically you got a tiger, an umbrella, and a bear on their shirt.
Might be a
Okay.
short-lived company. They're hung. They might be trademarks after them. So you might get it while supplies last in the pro shop.
That's kind of what I figured. I thought, well,
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys are getting away with this, but if I can get that thing in my shop next year, I'm taking it.
Right.
There you go.
Well, because the guy said, the umbrella, it's like the Arnold Palmer umbrella is like 4 stripes. Theirs is 3 stripes, and their bear is like 3 foot. The golden bear got 4 foot, or I don't know.
Yeah.
4
So it's just different enough not to draw attention to it, but at least looking at it.
Hey, for me looking at it, I think they're definitely in trouble. But I get it while I still can get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
And then they made a shirt they called the goat.
The goat.
The goat. So it's a sheep with tiger stripes on it.
Oh boy,
we might have to check these guys out.
Yeah, I say this. We'll see how long this company lasts.
This is probably the most interesting company I came across, in a long time. They're not a big name company, so I think that's how they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
For right now, I'm sure if they do it for another year or two,
they start to
know.
If they start to gain traction, it might be a short-lived company. So, especially hung with no PGA. Is there a PGA show this year or no? I can't remember.
Actually, there is a PGA show, but a lot of big vendors are not going.
That's what I assumed, because I know when I was in the business, that was one thing that we would always do. We'd go down there for the week, and then that's another spot where you would see the smaller vendors that you may not necessarily carry and kind of do your ordering there. So I remember that was always a good way to see some companies that you may not, you're not your typical Adidas, Nike, FootJoy, that type of thing. You go down there and that's where you get introduced to those. So I guess now without that PGA show there or not as many participants, that's kind of tough for those startup companies to kind of get out there. So hopefully it works for the new company that is not.
I put my pre-ordering last August, so I should be good for this year. But I wish the best for everybody, in the business. But it's gonna be a tough year for a lot of the operators as well, getting merchandising. I can already see that. I already got a couple of emails about things getting short or things are out of stock already. And that's even before me opening up. So
yeah, that's never good when you're getting those notes in January. 4 months before the golf season, 3 months before the golf season starts. So.
I know. So but it's gonna be tough for some operators. But we should be fine. I mean, I placed all my order last August and September. I do my orders pretty early, so we should be good shape.
Nice. One of the things noticed you've had a few Facebook Live events going on here recently. You're doing some social media marketing and things like that, having a little bit of fun. Tell us a little bit about those and how those are going.
Those are actually going pretty good. So our Facebook following between our golf course and restaurant plus the Instagram, we have about 10,000 people that we can get people involved about. So basically, because this year with almost no like local golf shows to go to, so we decided to kind of take out another route just by us doing Facebook Live events and doing some giveaways. Just kind of like the same thing that I do in golf shows, but just instead of going to the golf shows, we just do it Facebook Live to try to reach our customers. But hey, I gotta tell you guys this. So last year, probably after the podcast with you guys, about 2 weeks later, I got a group of guys coming. They listen to your show.
No kidding.
Fantastic. Yeah, there you go.
So there's like there's 20 guys on the patio deciding how they're gonna pair up against one another for the afternoon 18. And then when they saw me walk by, they stopped me and said, "Hey, you were saying something about how to fix the green, how the green shots on there." Hi, where did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
We heard you on the podcast, and then everyone they're playing a Ryder Cup style against one another.
Okay.
So all my guys on my team listen to that part of it, so they can kind of pick on how to read the greens a little bit better.
Hey, excellent. There we go.
Everybody
so
wins.
I want to do that to you because I don't know if you guys know how many people listen to your show, but I actually got people that listen to your show, come to my golf course and say,
"That's awesome! Everybody wins."
We love hearing that, and I would love to know who it was. So if you're listening right now and you're those guys, send us a message. We'd love to hear. So that's really cool. That's really cool. And I thought that clip. I picked that clip specifically because it's one of those things where you expect everybody to kind of understand that and know how to fix a divot, a mark on the green, but there's so many people that don't, and it seems so simple, but it makes so much sense. So
So anyway, we're doing this Facebook Live event, so I come up with some questionnaires to ask people. So my January questionnaire is I actually borrowed from the Golf Digest little thing. So you got probably, I think off the top of my head, about 20 players. 20 different players, and then they rank everyone, and then you try to build your perfect player. But my question is to everybody was, build your perfect player to break 60 at virtues. So it's not just to go as low as possible, Ken, but it's specific to and in my mind, just looking at the list on the players, I have a pretty good idea who I would pick because the way the virtues is built is such a good easier golf course for people who can hit a low left to right shot. So I have a pretty good. So my pick for driving was Dustin Johnson, and he only I think on that list he's only worth like $20.
Yeah.
And then my on irons, I had who did I have? But he's also a fader. So I picked 2 faders. Then I figured, you know what? I don't care who chips and putts. They can stick with my golf course.
All those guys can chip and putt. That's funny.
I mean, I'm like, but it'll be a fun thing, just kind of do it with everybody, just kind of get everybody a little, interaction, a little engagement, and just something that we can talk about with people. We like so for this Friday, next Friday, and the following Friday, I'm doing 3 Facebook Live for half an hour. And one of them is actually going to be on the golf swing, talking about golf lessons and just talk about my experience, when I first started out as a teaching pro, and then just over the years and what I've learned while I was in the business. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, may have to jump on the next one here. I know.
I hopped on the first one, and that was I think you guys were talking about your favorite holes out there. Yeah, and so I hopped on that one, and that was a pretty good listen. So I hung on to
that. The first one was pick the 3 things that will make your dream golf day. So there's that.
That's right.
So and then that one that had having beer, drink, holing one, have a golf course to yourself, perfect weather, and then hit all 18 greens, 300-yard drive on every hole, no lost ball. So I mean, I play golf for a long time. I mean, obviously mine's different than everybody else, but for me, just golf course to myself, perfect weather, and beer.
There you go. You got the trifecta.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Those aren't a bad pick there.
I mean, for me, I have 6 or 7, 6 holing ones now. One of them in the tournament.
Right.
So I would love to get enough hole-in-one and the virtues, but I would have quite a few of them already. 300-yard drive, I'm old, so but if I catch a nice downwing and then fairway is firm, I can still belt it out there, 300 something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's fine, and plus, they make so many golf balls nowadays, so losing a golf ball here and there will help the economy of golf. So
Right.
It's funny because I actually saw one of the guys I follow on Instagram and I interact with his handles at Golf Central Ohio. So shout out Gary and at Golf Central Ohio. I think he won one of your prizes and posted about it. So I messaged him and he said he won it on your Facebook Live there. So cool to see you getting some gear out there. And I think it was like some koozies and some cool stuff there.
Yeah, koozie, a little keychain, and then a couple half off. And then and then out of I think 50 envelope I sent out, I stuck about 8 complimentary round in 8 of the envelopes. I don't even know who it is. I just this one here. Send it out. So I don't even know who actually got the complimentary round. So
yeah,
there you go. Rob, what do you think? You want to hit our at the turn questions?
I think so. Yeah, I think this would be a good little segue for our mid podcast. Hit you at the turn. We got 9 questions. This is a new segment. The last time you were on, Hung, we didn't have this segment, and so we have 9 questions for you. We'll rapid fire, and we'll ask you a question. You fire away with an answer, and just go back and forth. So
easy, fun
Marcus,
questions.
pretty easy. I'll lead us off here, Marcus, and we'll just alternate in. First question, Hung, would you rather ride or walk if you're playing golf?
Walk.
Perfect.
What are you taking a pull cart?
Oh, it's gonna be on my back.
They're carrying. I like it.
Carrying on my back.
I like it. All right.
Well, no, if I can afford a caddy, then I'll take a caddy. But
there you go.
There you go.
On my back.
Perfect. All right. Question number 2. Wood tees or plastic tees?
Wood tees.
There you go.
Perfect. We've had a lot of back and forth. We've had a few mix. We've had some wood tees, with some plastic tees, so it's good. At the turn, you just finished 9 holes. Hung, are you grabbing a hot dog or an energy bar?
Hot dog.
There you go.
I'm still not into energy bars, so.
There you go. All right, you're around the green. You have your choice in the type of shot you're going to hit. Are you playing a bump and run or a flop shot?
Oh, it's a little check chip shot.
Okay, there you go.
All right,
keeping it low. I like it.
Yeah. Casual round of golf. Are you doing music or no music?
Ooh, that's the tough one for me because I'm actually not into music that much. But I don't mind having noise. So whenever I go and play with friends, if they have music on, it doesn't bother me. If there's no music, it doesn't bother me. I mean, that's how I play.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you must have or must not have.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. On the golf course, are you hoodies or no hoodies? Are you okay with the hoodie on?
Yeah, hoodie.
Yeah. Big topic of debate.
Yeah. Well, there's no debate, I mean, in my mind, hey, especially nowadays, the golf crowd is getting younger. And I mean, for me as the operator, and I'll be honest with you on this, 2 years ago, if you asked me the same thing, would me being on your podcast have as much influence as it did like this summer? I'll be honest, I don't think it would. But this summer, because I'm seeing the customers that come in through the doors, I mean, it on average were probably about 10 years younger than 3 years ago. So, being on Facebook Live or doing the podcast with you guys, I think I'm reaching our demographic more on point now. But, pre-pandemic, I'll be honest with you, my best marketing tool is email.
Yeah.
We try Facebook, we try social media, we try a lot of different things. the conversion rate is so low. I mean, it's like nobody's seeing what we've done on YouTube or social media, Facebook, all that stuff. And but last couple of years, what we have done on the Facebook or Instagram is like, oh my God, the people are catching on to it. So I think the golf as a whole, our demographic is getting at least 10 years younger on average, like just between the last 2 years.
That's good. That means, hopefully that means they'll be sticking around and more people will be playing golf. And that's
absolutely.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. All right. Question 7. Your irons. Are you going with the blades, the butter knives, or some cavity back? Some help.
Here, you guys probably won't believe this. The clubs I have is what I had about probably 14 years ago when I was just quit playing professionally. It's the R9 Tour B, TaylorMade R9 Tour B.
Yeah.
And those are good. Those are stainless steel, chrome, probably blades. What it's probably like with small cavity. And the other day I was at the indoor golf center hitting golf balls, and my friend watched, hey, Tom, what's that thing in the middle of the club face? It's all worn out. I was like, well, when you use it for a long time,
when you hit it right here.
I've had my clubs for a long time, but they don't have a wear spot like that. I can tell you that right now.
I was going to say, Marcus, I don't see those wear spots on your irons on league night, so got to get that going.
Not quite the same wear pattern, that's for sure.
It's funny. I mean, right now, because I don't ask the reps for clubs anymore because I don't play enough. So I mean, I know if I ask them, they'll give me a brand new set of clubs, but I don't play, so I'm not promoting their clubs. I don't want to take their clubs, and then so the other day, so that's why I kept all the clubs, that I play, so my driver is a little bit newer just because, I think after you use it for so long, the driver, I cave the face in, but that's not from my swing speed. That's just from how long I use it.
Oh, don't kid us, Hung. We know your swing speed's up there. You're pounding the golf ball.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 8 here. So maybe this will hopefully take us back to your competitive playing days, maybe some of the mini tours and things like that. But what's lowest competitive round of golf that you've shot? Lowest
competitive round was 65. I forgot what golf course in Arizona, but it was me playing on I think on the Gateway or whatever meet was playing down there.
65. That's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive.
Guess what? I came back with the next day.
I don't know, but I'm guessing it's not 65.
Yeah.
I went the other way.
Yikes. A little 65, 75 action.
65, 78.
There you go. Right. There you go. I feel that I've made similar attempts at having such a gap between rounds, but it's usually like 82, 92 type of thing. So
the worst is when you have it in the 9s, where it's this tale of 2 9s. I've done
Rob, don't tell me about that, because I'll tell you guys. So I was playing in I forgot what tournament it was. It's a small 1-day event, and it's in Scottsdale. There's 2 TPC. One is the TPC of Scottsdale. It's a nice golf course. The other one is a TPC of something it's almost like a muni.
Yeah.
Anyways, our little tournament it's on that course. So I did everything I thought possible, and then first hole, hit a decent drive around the water, hit my second shot in there, made the putt. Okay, this is a good day. Went on second hole, pull my drive left on side of hill, and then for some reason flip a wedge in the cup. Oh, wow. We moved up to 2 holes. Third hole, a par 5, 500, 30, 40 yards. I remember was the driver and 5-iron. Hit the green to the middle, and then had probably about 25 foot left. Made the putt.
Wow.
Whoa. I've only routed 3 holes.
Getting the 59 watch going.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on. And then I forgot what I parred the next hole. I birdied a couple more holes coming in. So I think I was 29 after 9 holes. And at that time, when I was making a turn, I have no clue where I was at.
Yeah.
All I knew is I was playing good. I did not add all the numbers up. I'm not touching it. I know I'm doing good. I'm not looking at what exactly I'm shooting. And then when we make the turn, the guy I was riding with, he went like this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know where you're at? And then no, I know I did, but I don't know where I'm at. Hey, you're at 29 right now.
Oh man. He jinxed you like the no hitter. You don't talk to the pitcher that's pitching the no hitter.
That some
I'm sure he was, in he was amazed at what I did, and he just wanted to kind of encourage me. He's like, he wanted, hey, keep the pedal to the metal, and then you can finish this off at something. And after that, I just went bogey, 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 bogey. How can I hop off this bogey train?
Yep.
I mean, I feel like I hit everything the way I want to hit it. I putted it. I mean, things are not going in. It's just not dropping.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It's amazing how that can happen, just even from hole to hole. Not even from round to round, but just you could, like you said, play lights out for 9 holes, and then on 10 it just fall. You fall off the face of the earth.
that was just funny. I was like, oh, I wish that guy never elbowed me. What I was doing. But anyway, that was my story on this. It's just I'm just not as good as what I thought I was good. I was trying to do. So.
Hey, you were for 9 holes,
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the big problem with golf is like you can do it. You're like, I've done it for 9 holes. I just need to put it together for 18.
Yeah, need to go for a few more.
Hey, talking about that, so after my mini tour playing days, I came up with a couple things to do to actually, because after I played competitive golf for a while, I realized that going low is actually more of a mental thing than a physical thing. So I actually developed a couple little exercise for a few people to try, and it was fun. I mean, Rob, you can try this. Go to any golf course and play from the red tee.
Yep, I've heard people trying to do that because it's just a complete, like you said, it's like almost like a mental block where they kind of tighten up once they get to a certain under par or even pars.
I mean, for me, one thing I realized while playing on Mini and playing in the Asian tour a little bit was that my mindset is not the same mindset as those guys that's playing out there. Their mindset is they can birdie every hole, and they are trying to birdie every hole, and then they'll birdie half of them. They try, and they're 61. Boom, done.
Yep.
And for me, because how I was taught to play, I don't have the same mindset. So after I was done playing competitively, so I just devised a few little things that I tried to do to help myself to get to that to break that mental barrier. And like what I just told you, play from the red tee or play from 250 yards out and see how many birdies and eagles you can make. And it was funny at first. It's like at first is I want to get to like 4 or 5 under. I can have like a par 4 from the red tee was at 280 yards, and I cannot make a birdie. But here,
what the heck? Yeah.
Well, it's funny too though, because you'll hear a lot of amateur golfers say, they'll make the 10-footer for par will go in, or the 10-footer for bogey will go in, but that 10-footer for birdie won't go in. So kind of to your point, Hung, it's a mental where it's like, I got a birdie putt. And so you put this putt up on a pedestal instead of your bogey putt, or it's like, you go up there for a double and you roll in a 15-footer, but you have a 15-footer for birdie and you're worried about, okay, where's I got to start this on this exact line with this exact speed.
Yeah.
So it's such a mental thing to try to go low.
It is. So, after I quit playing competitively, I have done a few coaching things for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had coach, she's currently a Japanese LPGA player. And when I coach her, and this is the funny thing, she has this beautiful golf swing. And, and so, and so I was working with her and we tried to help her on the scoring aspect of it. And what we done is we did a kind of like a putting game, and the putting game is actually inside 12 feet only, and we're playing like horse or pig, and then
Mm-hmm.
we go behind one another. And it was the funniest thing that if I make a putt, even though she saw the line, she will not make it because usually, she's when you put some meaning to that putt, she can make it. When you have a little pressure on the putt, she's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna make it. And it just made me realize how much more mental this golf game is. You just watching her. And
Yeah.
another thing that I did with her was kind of like a scorecard analysis. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
based on her driving distance, we'll look at how far she hits it and what type of clubs that she has going into the green and how often she should make a birdie. Kind of more like statistic
Mm-hmm.
type of study for her. And what I find for her is if she makes birdie on 220, 30 yards par three more often than a par four that's 300 yards where she had the little foot ledge going into the green. I was like, there's something wrong there. So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, she does have a beautiful golf swing, but her short game is just not very good, and she's hitting all the right distance, but she has not as good of control.
Mm-hmm.
So, just identify those things and also just, working on breaking that mental barrier, saying, hey, it's okay to go 5 birdies in a row. It's okay to go 6 birdies. It's okay to go 9 birdies and
Right.
still try to go low.
Yeah.
But those are the things that we work on, and, so, and she got pretty good. So,
Yeah.
I my infamous story when it comes to going low. Yeah, I was playing in a league round a couple years ago, and I I was playing at Westchester here in Columbus, and I birdied one, which is a par five, and I parred 2, 3, and 4, and I chipped in for eagle on 5. So I was 3 under through 5, and somebody pointed that out to your point, had said, "Hey man, you're playing well. You're 3 under so far." And I immediately duck hooked it and slammed it off a house on 6. That took, re-teed, got up there, sliced a like a 6 iron into the weeds, had to take a drop and made like a quad 8. And so I went from 3 under to 1 over in one hole.
Yikes.
Yeah. So
Oh.
but yeah,
Wow.
it's the minute he mentioned how well I was playing, I stepped up to the very next tee and duck hooked it out of bounds. So yeah, it's all mental.
It's a mental block. Yeah.
but I would
what,
tell you this though, by me working on the couple things I work on, just trying to do the exercise like playing from the red tee and stuff like that. So this actually took me almost 2 years after I quit playing competitive and trying to work on my, overcome my mental barrier. It
mm-hmm.
took me 2 years, and then I was at Clover Valley, and I had 4 eagles on all 4 of the par fives. And then I shot 70 because I was so aggressive, trying to be
Yeah.
aggressive, so
Yeah.
aggressive, and I made so many stupid bogeys.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that this mental barrier. It's We can beat it. We can actually overcome it. It takes work. It took me 2 years to really change my mindset. But that's it did take a little time to change.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have
Well,
to
since
do
we're
an entire episode on the mental game with you, Hung.
yeah, since we're all sharing horror stories, I have sprinting out of the gates hot. I was trying to qualify for the U.S. Open when I was still in the golf business, and open qualifier down at Makatiwa down in Cincinnati, and I had another assistant caddying for me, and I want to say I started out birdie, par birdie, so it was 3 under through like 4 or 5 holes, and I'm like,
Nice.
I got this. Like I'm like, where's the next section event at? Like where do I go from here? And then Hung, to your point, I made the turn. I think I turned at like 1 or 2 under. I'm still in good shape, and it was just like, I burnt the edge on that par putt, tap in bogey, didn't get up and down, burnt the edge, tap in bogey. And it was just like, I think I went like 34, 44, like something like that. It was just a complete and utter, just like it wasn't like one hole. It was just kind of like, that's a tough bogey. All right. Well, you did have a tough, you hit your drive in the trees. You had to punch out. So that was a good bogey. Don't worry about it. And you just like kept justifying it. And I was like, I'm running out of holes. Like I gotta get.
Rob, that's exactly how I felt. After 3 or 4 holes on that back, I was like, I don't know why I'm on this bogey trend, but I'm taking it off. I mean, I feel like hitting decent shots.
Right.
I can't get this bogey trend.
Yeah. I was having flashbacks during your story. I was like, oh man, that's exactly how I felt during that open qualifier. So yeah, we've all got that. I think we've all been there.
Yep.
Yeah. But
nice. Yeah, we'll have to come back and maybe do an entire mental game episode with you. You can walk us through your whole.
We'll have stories to tell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we got one more question I think here left, Rob, on our.
We took a detour on that the turn, but
it was very good.
Okay, so we'll wrap it up here. It's a tight and short par 4, 320 yards down the hill, OB left and water right. Are you trying to drive the green, or are you going to lay up and play it safe for position?
All right. My only question is, can I drive it reach it?
It's a hole your driver can reach. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going for it.
Okay.
Going for it. I love it.
But here's the thing. Again, this is one of my good friends told me this. Is that I can make a bogey with a 3-iron off the tee just as thin as I can make a driver, as I can do with a driver. So,
yep, exactly.
That's a good way to look at it. I like that. I
mean, any more if it's not a par 3, I'm going to hit driver. That's been my mindset over the last few years.
Before you said that to me, I always try to quote unquote play smart, but then I realized. Afterwards, I'm not very smart. It's one of those things is like, if I'm actually a decent enough driver that I can hit it 280, 290, 270 now probably, but I know where it's going. So,
right.
It's a little flip wedge for me. I'm so much better to flip wedge and try to hit the 3-iron, so.
Right.
But, I realize one thing is I'm not very smart, so why, don't fool yourself.
Right.
You're gonna have to teach me this flip wedge you speak of there, Hung, because I, as Rob can attest, I missed a lot of greens from 100 yards last year. So this little flip wedge you speak of, I need to learn that one.
Well, I will do that because. Marcus, I'll tell you this. This was one of the things that I thought, we would talk about, but this is back in my playing days, when I was playing on Asian Tour. So I grew up, my golf development was mostly in Ohio. So in Ohio, we got really nice grass. We got nice, lush bank grass. So when I went over to play on the Asian Tour, I play on this, I don't know what they're called, but they're worse than the Munich course in Florida. I mean, it's mostly sand. So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but anyway, so when I went over there, the first thing is I don't know how to chip anymore. And so by me working on this and working on how to chip, learning how to chip, and what I find out is, when I learned how to chip from when I was in, I think I was in Malaysia, and the first thing that one of the guys I was traveling with, he said, "Hung, your chipping is horrible." I said, "What are you talking about? I'm doing the same thing." He said, "No, I mean you don't hit it right on the face." I'm like, "What? I hit it on the face?" And he said, "No, it's not. No, it needs to be like click, 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 click." And I'm like, yours is soft, marshmallowy. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, but that's my experience on learning how to chip again while I was out in Malaysia. And I can tell you what I learned from there, learning how to chip the ball solidly, learning how to pitch it. Uh, I don't practice anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But my short game is actually my strongest suit right now. That I know how to hit the shot. I mean, if I am outside of 40 yards, I'm not as good because I don't know how far I hit it. But when inside 40 yards is a field shot, I'm like right on still. So it's
That
kind of weird, but it's been good.
that I haven't experienced that click, so I need to figure out how that
Yeah,
click works.
that's what the guy said. It's click, click. It's like it's a click. It's a click. Like, at first I'm like, what?
It makes complete sense, but so I guess one of the reasons we ended up reaching out and wanted to have you back on is you just mentioned practice, and you have been doing a little bit more practice.
Yes, I have.
You we were chatting a little bit, and you mentioned your kids are getting into the game a little bit, so you're practicing with them and you're working on your own swing. So maybe what are you working on? Are you working on your own swing more than are you teaching your kids? We're seeing a lot of videos, I guess. You're working on hitting into a net. So what are you practicing there?
So for me, I mean, for me on my own golf swing, because I haven't practiced much for the last probably 5-6 years now. I'm losing flexibility. My length of swing is getting a little shorter. My lower body as Reed doesn't know what he's trying to do. I just probably hit everything with my upper body now. So the goal right now is just really trying to get my lower body in the right sequence to learn to fire, try to get my length of swing back a little bit. My swing actually from like chest high to chest high on the way back and on the way through. I'm like good, but but what that means is I can hit it about 120 yards, dead straight, knows where I'm going. But when it's going over 120 yards, I'm like, it's a roller coaster now. So, so just try to learn to lengthen that swing a little bit. Try to create a little bit more speed. My club head speed has dropped. It used to be like 115, 117. Now it's like 102, if I'm lucky.
That comes with not touching the clubs much, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But the funny thing though, the more I practice, my club head speed has actually gone back up a little bit, but still not very fast. It's like 103, 4, 5 ish right now. So it's not, it's nothing to write home about. But but it's really just because my son is playing. He's a little bit more interested in golf. He wants to play a little bit more, and just trying to encourage him to play. So I'm practicing with him, and I actually sent you guys his swing from the summer.
Yeah, I saw that. That's quite the transformation. That's pretty impressive. Little man's got a pretty good swing here. I was looking at the before and after, if you will. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, in the summertime, he jumped, right down through impact. He doesn't really rotate, so he's stuck. So he has
kind of flip.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but that's just him trying to hit it as hard as he can, but he doesn't really know how to rotate through impact, so he jumps at it. And then we just worked really hard on getting his low body in the right sequence. I mean, he's super flexible, super nimble. So you see traces of Charlie Wood's action in his golf swing too, just because he's super flexible, and and he can get into places I can only dream of right now.
Right.
But he actually doesn't really know how good he is yet. I mean, he's just like, oh, I know I'm better, but he had no clue. But I just, trying to, have him come with me. I try to take him wherever I go, give golf lessons so he can practice alongside me, alongside my students when I give lessons. So just something to encourage him. But if you look at his golf swing, he went from a left arm collapse over swing. And then on the way down, it's the club face is wide open. all going back on the way down. Club face is wide open, jump to create power, and flip with his hands to correct it to what he has right now. But right now he's only doing it with like a more like a 3/4 swing or slower speed right now that he can master the movement. So in the probably next few months we'll try to speeding up a little bit and helping the career. So.
That's kind of a good way to do it. Like you said, just do like the 3/4 swing or like half speed, just kind of almost like slow motion. I was watching the clip that you sent us, and it was just kind of, like you said, putting the proper sequence in. So you're, making sure those, the hips are firing, where the hands are here where they need to be. And then once that he gets that feel, then you just kind of, then you start adding speed to it.
Yeah, when I give lessons, or even myself, I always do a lot of slow motion golf swings, and even slow motion golf swing trying to hit a golf ball, because that way you can tell that if you're making the right movement or not. I don't like drills. What I like is just if you can give me a mirror and a place I can make golf swings, I think that's the best practice. And I like wherever I'm making changes that will affect the ball flight a little bit, I like to make those changes indoor, because that way I'm not seeing where the ball is going. So because the thing is, Rob, you're probably the same way. You are good enough golfers, you have good enough hands, you know how that shot feels like. And then when you're making that change, and all of a sudden that ball is going somewhere that your eyes not used to seeing it, and and you just make that happen. You just make that ball fly the way you want it to, but at the same time that you're not making that right change, you're not making the right movement again. So working indoor actually help that, so that way you can focus on the movement you're trying to make instead of the ball you're trying to hit. So
I say this is the time of the year that everyone's trying to make the swing changes, like you said, especially if you're doing it inside and you don't have the accessibility to hit balls outside or have any access to TrackMan or GC Quad or anything like that. You just stand in front of a mirror and just try to change the positions and then deal with cause and effect and what happens when you do get to go hit balls and see if the hard work you did over the winter pays off. So
it's so funny you say that, kind of thinking through that, because I think Rob and I both went to the range separately this past weekend, but I went up to Westerville Golf Center. They have heated bays and things like that, so it's nice to hit outside. And for a Saturday in January, it was a little bit warmer 40s, but the place was packed. Like I waited for 20 minutes to find a bay, because everybody's trying to hit balls, and you walk down the line, and it's so funny to see how many people are recording their golf swing, or they have the digital launch monitors now, and they're looking at their numbers and things like that, where that probably wasn't even the case 2 or 3 years ago, to see everybody kind of.
I agree with you, but I think that's one reason why having a golf professional watching you is important, because when you watch yourself in either with your phone or some kind of whatever recording device that you might have, everybody see all the problems, all the troubles that that you make or in the golf swing that you have. And the thing is, you forgot to just really work on the things that you need to work on. A lot of it is just little building blocks that you need to get, block A done, block B done, block C done before you can do all that stuff. But when you start looking on golf swings, like, oh my God, I still got chicken wing, I still flip through impact. Why is my club face still open? And then you start thinking about all that, and you can never get on the basic. I can tell you this based on my teaching experience. I have, as long as you give me somebody that's somewhat athletic, give me 2 hours with that person. All I was trying to do is teach that guy how to have the right posture, how to grip the club correctly. I can tell you that guy or that gal can hit a golf ball in the air in probably after an hour. I mean, I don't know how far he or she can hit it, but she can hit it up in the air. And then she can probably, if she knows how to play, she can actually start enjoying playing already. Golf is really not that hard, but if you get, if you learn the right posture and the right grip, and just some really simple action, golf is not that hard, to get started. Obviously, to play well, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah. I say, Marcus, you can use that for the clip that Hung said golf isn't that hard. So
yeah. There might be a few listeners out there that might disagree with you on that one, Hung, but I know what you're saying.
Like I said, to get started, I don't think golf is that hard.
Yeah, no, sure.
But to move from 100 to 90, 90 to 80, 80 to 70, yes, that is hard. But to be able to just pick a club up, hit the ball in the air and move forward and start able to enjoy the game, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, kind of like what you were saying, Hung. It's alarming. It's good to see people out there hitting balls and practicing, but if you haven't had a PGA pro looking at you or a teaching pro looking at you, you're probably just ingraining bad habits. I mean, more than likely. I know that in my teaching days, like you said, people when they see themselves on camera, they're like, well, look at my chicken wing or look at my hands through impact. And then, but as a pro who's taught and everything like that, you go, well, hang on, let's look at your grip. Like your grip could be, the reason why your chicken wing ain't because it's so weak or something like that. Mm-hmm. But, to the people that just have their iPhones propped up on their bag, they're like, oh my gosh, my club's going out. Yeah, Marcus, I wasn't exactly pointing at you. No, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, we know what you need to work on. Like we can fix one thing that will kind of fix the other things without you even thinking about it. And so it's good to see people out there hitting balls, like growing the game and everything like that. But at the same time, it's like,
I'll give you a perfect example, Rob. I give two like high school kids, junior high kids lessons. So during the golf season, because right now high school and middle school golf, I mean, they play like almost every week. So I don't see them during the golf season. I mean, they're busy doing practices and matches. So so we start seeing each other again after the golf season is over. And I look at both of them, I'm like, oh my God, what did you guys do? I mean, their setup become horrible. I mean, they are standing so close to the golf ball and they're bent over so much. I'm like, how can you hit a golf ball well? I said, no, we don't. I mean, we don't hit it well. We can't hit it solid anymore. And, I mean, with kids, it's just like, okay, let me set you back in the right posture, right grip, and then boom, they're hitting half decent already just by changing to the right posture and right grip. And I'm a big believer in the fundamental of golf. If you can do grip and posture right,
you're set up to make a good If you're holding the club correctly and you're standing correctly, more than you're going to be off to a good start with hitting a golf ball. So the fundamentals are key.
It's so funny, and again, you two are the pros here, and I am just an amateur. But it's so funny making one tweak can make such a big difference. I was watching a video on YouTube, but Kevin Kisner was playing with some guys, and the guy was like a 20-something handicap, and he's terrible, could barely hit the ball off the ground, and he walked up to him and he looked at his grip. And he had such a weak grip, and he's like, how many knuckles can you see on your left hand? And he's like, I can't see any. He's like, when I look down, I see three of my knuckles. He's like, we need to strengthen your grip. He's like, how many do you see now? He's like, I see 2. Okay, perfect. Take a swing. Boom, flushed it. He hit like 4 or 5 balls in a row after that, flushed them all. And he's like, that's all, just one little tweak made such a big difference in his golf swing. So but to your point, it's like guys like me go to the range and they record their swing and they're looking at it. And it's like, well, we don't really know what we're looking at. Okay, well, that looks like it always has. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. So
it's consistent.
But that's how the golf. That's how us the golf. Well, I don't give enough lessons, but that's how we make some money.
That's right.
There you go. So.
You can't give all your secrets out lesson 1. It's like, well, if you buy a package of 5, we can probably get you all squared away by the end of that 5th lesson. But
we can find something for a second package.
Right.
There's always improvements to be made. So
Yeah.
So good stuff. Yeah, no, that's exciting to see you working on the game a little bit. Maybe we'll have to get out and play sometime before the summer season gets too busy for you, and you're stuck working instead of playing. So
Yeah.
but,
Well, that's my goal. Well, I feel like I have a very good supporting staff around me now, so I feel like I can step away and actually play a little bit golf now.
there you go.
Unlike a few years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to this season that I can step away and then go play some too.
Nice.
We'll book a tee time and we'll leave a spot open for you. So you see our name on the tee sheet, throw your name on and hop on.
All right. I like that.
There you go. But speaking of the coming golf season, any big plans? I'm sure you guys are filling up your calendar with outings and things like that. But any exciting outings or anything coming down the pipeline we can look forward to?
Well, obviously, March, St. Patrick's 2-man scramble. That's what we have.
Perfect.
We have, basically April, we have another 2-man. May, we have a mini memorial. Now the thing for mini memorial, the winning team, I'll have. Well, hopefully I can still get it this year. I should have 4 clubhouse badge for the memorial tournament.
There we go.
Nice.
Winning team. So
Yeah,
that should be a good one.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of 2-man tournament, 4-man. By the way, the our Greenskeepers Revenge tournament last year, I had 4 guys on 59.
50. Oh man, not much revenge going on there.
Right. Wow.
No, they're revenging us.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a couple of the guys on that team that are good players, but I also know where my superintendent put the pin placements are.
Right.
I mean, that's. Whew. I mean, they win so low, and they made. But the thing is, though, there's a couple lucky shots, but they made a ton of putts out there.
Mm-hmm.
And
those scrambles, that's what everybody. You hear the winning team, man. We made everything. Like we always kind of joke with scramble teams. It's like, well, did they really play well, or was it the eraser? But anytime that I've played well in scrambles or anything like that, you don't talk about how great you guys were off the tee. It was, man, we made everything we looked at. So if the putter gets hot in a scramble, that's all you really need.
Yeah, I'm like, phew, but in the Greenskeepers Revenge pin placement, I know a couple pin placement out there. I don't think they are birdieable or one puttable, but they did. I mean, like for hole 18, for example, hole 18, we have that false front in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So the flag is right there in the middle of the false front. So, and everybody that I know was trying to play smart, was trying to actually hit it as close to on the upslope and try to have an uphill chip onto that flag. And the guy who made a birdie on that hole and win the skin on that hole, he hit it about 20 feet past and just, have 4 attempts with the putt going back down, and one of them went in.
Yeah.
And they were the only guys that birdied that hole.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They hit it to the middle of the green and putted back, and somehow it took away.
18 is a tough hole. I can't imagine that pin placement.
Yeah, I would say, that's a tough hole to finish on when a normal pin's out there, let alone a Greenskeeper Revenge pin. So I couldn't imagine trying to birdie that hole.
Nice.
So
good stuff. Well, we're looking forward to golf season getting underway here. I know we got a little bit of time, but it was good to catch up with you, and we're definitely going to have to do this again. I feel like we could talk for hours about golf with you. So we'll get you back on here.
I did spend quite a few years in the golf.
I'm sure you could tell stories for days. So
yeah.
So
I mean,
good
on the playing side, teaching side, and the operating side. So
there we go.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Well, I appreciate you coming back on. It's always fun. For those that are out there that have not played Virtues or follow on Instagram at Virtues Golf. It's unbelievable course here in Central Ohio. Definitely worth the drive if you have to make it. But Hung, as always, we appreciate it. We'll get you back on, and we'll, like I said, we're gonna come out there and we're gonna play around with you here sometime this spring.
Absolutely.
So.
That sounds good. Hey, by the way, the little camera I got going, I think I can do a Facebook Live as we play too now.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There we go. That would be entertaining.
Hey, and we're gonna join you for Facebook Live at one of these points here. So I gotta get. I missed the first one, so I gotta jump on here. But
I got a couple of new video equipment that I brought in. So let me play with that, get a little bit more familiarized with that stuff, and then I think we might be able to do something like podcast, but we can actually do it live too.
That would be awesome. Yes, well, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna definitely make that happen. So,
all right, awesome. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody appreciate it. Be sure to give Hung and Virtues a follow on Instagram there. Don't forget to follow Rob and I and the podcast itself. We have a podcast Instagram account at Player B Podcast. So give it a follow. Be sure to hit subscribe and like and leave us a comment and tell us how awesome Hung is. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up. We appreciate it.
Yep.
We'll talk to you next time.
Adios.
Right, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yep, absolutely, Hung. We'll see you.